In my 20s, I worked as a waitress. One day, I had a phone call for a job working downtown. And I said, oh, I was called to work today. He said, I don't know where you'll be working, but you won't be working here. When I looked around, I didn't see not one Black person there. I believe that over time, we all go through tests and trials. When you're dealing with racial discrimination, you have to have a time of healing. You have to have a time of healing. I was in the projects for 5 years. Thank you.
How would you like your eggs?
My son was only 2 years old at the time, and mice started coming up in my kitchen. They're on the floor, running all in the cabinet. I had to take his bedroom and use that for the kitchenette. It was just terrible. I just prayed my way through it. It was hard, but I prayed my way through it. I knew that I wanted to get me and my son and go. I wanted a better life for him. I wanted a better environment for him. I went to a class that gives you training on how to buy a home. This one right here, the gray one. Oh boy, was I happy. And I was looking at my little son, we're getting ready to get out of here. And after you finish the class, you needed to contact a real estate agent. So we began to search for homes. And each time I'm like, okay, here's another list, mister. And he was like, oh, Sarah, we'll check that out later. I have some homes I want to show you. Weeks and weeks and weeks done went by. In fact, months had went by. I said, I don't understand why this guy will not take me into the suburbs. That's where I want to live. I knew that there was something wrong. I said, why are you treating me like this? And he responded, when white people see Black people in their neighborhoods, they get offended. I didn't know what to do. I was totally in shock. My mind went back to the hotel when I was in my 20s. And I said, enough is enough. The first thing I can tell a victim, you have to make that first step, calling fair housing. That's what I did. They were very encouraging, and I appreciate everybody that played a part for me and my son to get the settlement. I believe that there are thousands, probably millions of people that are going through racial discrimination. And the only thing that I can tell them is you need to voice it. If it's not addressed, how can it be healed?
If you believe you may be a victim of housing discrimination, contact your local Fair Housing Center or call HUD's Housing Discrimination Hotline at 1-800-669-9777. Remember, unless you report it, it won't stop.
My dream of photography started off when I had my first child. I told myself that my children would never tell me that they don't have childhood pictures. So I picked up a camera and started then, because I want my children to have more than what I've had. My first apartment, being there for 5 years, you see a lot of troubles. I came home one day and the sewage had overflowed. The parking lot would flood and you could not get in your car. My hot water heater burst and the landlord didn't get it fixed. When you're in those surroundings, you feel stuck. I didn't want to feel stuck. Over the years, it just got worse and worse, and I was just like, okay, my next opportunity to get up out of here, I'm gone. I qualified for my first voucher, and that was like giving me wings. I would always tell my kids, it would be awesome for us to live over there, to build something new, be able to have self-confidence, be able to be proud of your neighborhood. And that's what I was trying to do for my 2 children. But as you walk in, they got the sign 1 heartbeat per room rule. But I've got a 2-bedroom voucher. I've got 2 boys, same sex, they share a room. There was just no way, according to their rule, that I was going to qualify to be a resident there. That's not right. What they're doing is not right. You're getting money from Uncle Sam saying that you're going to house low-income families, but they are making you pay more than what you qualify for. Yes, you get angry because something was taken away from my children before I even got the opportunity to even give it to them. Discriminating against me and my children was like the last straw. Finding the local fair housing center in my area was the biggest thing for me because they helped me make that complaint a reality. They were the first step and they helped me out tremendously. No, it ended. We all reached a settlement. It's been a long road, but I wouldn't have traded filing a complaint for nothing because it benefited me and my children. I was able to get my photography up and running. I have a makeshift studio. I got a little office. I was also able to just know that when you least expect that somebody's in your corner to help you out. If you just ask the right questions and just don't stop at why. That lawsuit let me know that standing up for my children, no matter how long it takes, you will get rewarded.
If you believe you may be a victim of housing discrimination, contact your local Fair Housing Center or call HUD's Housing Discrimination Hotline at 1-800-669-9777. Remember, unless you report it, it won't stop. It won't.
Right when I first moved over here, I was so happy. And one day she asked me a question. How long have you been hard hearing? I told her I said all my life. That's when she called me names. Dumb, stupid, retarded. I said, I'm hard of hearing, and this is how I talk. She said, well, the people that are hard of hearing people do not belong here. They belong in a nursing home. The manager and the company did not do nothing about it. I got fed up with it. I said, no, I have my right to live in this building just like everybody else. I'm gonna keep on fighting.
If you believe you may be a victim of housing discrimination, contact your local fair housing center or call HUD's Housing Discrimination Hotline at 1-800-669-9777. Remember, unless you report it, it won't stop.